how to improve your customer service in your nail business. We're going to talk about this right now on the Biz Talk.
Could you improve my customer service experience with you?
Is there? Well, that implies that you're my customer.
It's the same thing.
Which is
employee
weird.
Experience. How's that?
Employee experience.
And I used to be a customer.
You actually did. And
best customer.
You were actually a really good customer. Tracey was like our top distributor, one of our top distributors domestically. And she was a good customer. You would never complain. You honestly wouldn't. You would, when you needed something, you would call, and I knew you really needed something.
I really needed it.
Because you rarely asked, and you paid your bills on time, and you sold a lot of product. So you're fired as of today because of all those memories I have, those awful memories of you being a great customer.
Can I have my money back?
Yeah.
I'll return the product.
Where is the product?
I have no idea.
Whatever happened to that distribution, by the way? It just kind of
Well, I sold it to you. You sold it to someone else. And then
that was that. Yeah, poof, it's gone. Memories. All right. Speaking of customer service, Tracey, I think we can really speak on this topic for a number of reasons. The experience of customer service that we have, yours goes down to, first of all, to the as a nail tech, you have it on the salon level as a salon owner.
Yep.
You have it as a distributor. I have it from manufacturer perspective with distributors, with international, domestic, and now direct to customers as well. So it has just changed so much, but we have a pretty vast experience with customer service. And customer service for me, just like I used to love, I just want to say this before we jump right in, but I think this is important, okay, on this topic of improving customer service. We would get a phone call, and I remember like Ray would call me and say, Habib, you got to come over here. There's a customer that's really upset.
Ray has codes.
Dude,
it's a code red.
It's a code red. Like, this is 911.
Yeah.
They are like, they want to talk to you or Greg, and I said, just give it to me, please. Don't give it to Greg. Don't give it to Greg.
Greg.
Greg is phenomenal.
He's like, you're the owner of the company now.
You own Young Nails. I'm sorry. Greg is phenomenal at what he does, but this is an area that like I need to do. And so I would go over there and I would be kind of excited. Mm-hmm. And the reason, and this plays into good customer service, I really believe this, is because I knew exactly what to do every single time. And you know what the biggest thing for me, Tracey, shut my mouth.
Listen.
And listen.
Yep.
Every single time. So I would get on the phone and I would say, hi, Tracey. I know you're really upset. It's Habib. How can I help you? And they would unload. And I would not say a word. I would say, okay, continue. That's the only thing that would come out of my mouth. Continue. Yes. Okay. Please continue. And by the end of it, they would start to kind of even out. Sometimes it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then I would apologize for their experience because regardless of, and I'm not, so let me clear this up because this is super important. It's not like the person was cussing and being really mean.
Yeah, because we've had this discussion before.
We have.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
That's
no matter
okay.
what.
Because I've personally, if someone's out of control with the customer service, they'll call me in.
Yeah, of course.
And if it's something where one of the girls calls in, like this person has, first of all, hung up on me several times. They have cussed me out. They're screaming at me.
Yeah.
That's
it's not okay.
It's not okay. It's not allowed.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about a really upset customer, but they're not like calling me names or going like crossing the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes they might like, damn it, or whatever.
No, that's okay.
It's part of they're
emotional.
They're emotional.
Of course, because
there's a difference there.
There's a big difference. They had a really bad experience. So I would apologize, like, because I'm like, oh my God, that happened. I'm really sorry for your awful experience. So let's go through this together. Let me tell you what I'm going to do, and the first thing is always, I would like, first of all, you're not paying for that shipment, so I don't want you. Second of all, I want you to keep the products that you have. You don't have to return anything. Mm-hmm. And this is just kind of a random example, but third, let me replace whatever it was. And in addition, so I would really go above and beyond to like take care of them, right? But I used to love that, because by the end of the conversation, they were not only still a customer, they were so happy. And they're like, I'm going to tell everybody about Young Nails. And this is why customer service, this is why we're doing an episode on this today. Like, customer service it's the one thing that can take an angry customer and turn them into the most loyal customer that you've got if you have exceptional customer service.
Yes, I totally agree. And I will say, it when you are face to face to the customer, it's different. It's a little different experience.
Of course.
And just exactly what you said. Sometimes, because when it comes to product and stuff like that, maybe they receive damaged product, not on purpose. We're going to take care of it. We're going to replace it. Don't worry about what you received. Keep, whatever that is. Now, when it comes to nails, it's not, you didn't receive damaged product, well, they may not be happy with their nails.
Sure.
They may have broken their nail. Sometimes the customer is not right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
A recent one I saw in our community, the girl, she popped a nail off. She wanted a full refund. The lady's like, let me fix it, repair it. You're happy with the nails, just let me repair the nail. And then she found out that this girl has done it to several techs, where she calls, says the nail popped off, and she wants the money back.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, so there's...
Oh, of course. It's like the customer that basically we always keep, we keep record, but somebody that's, if they're basically if there's like 8 shipments where it's like it's lost. So okay, there's a pattern here. Obviously we look for that too. Yeah. Totally.
So, but there are things that when a customer's upset, we can make it worse. You know, like, well, I don't see anything wrong with that now. Something like that. It's
right.
Like, well, what are you?
Dude,
it's perfect.
That exactly, Tracy. And that's kind of what I'm not talking about the and we should talk about that actually, and we will. But I'm talking about a situation where you're doing everything you can, right?
Yep.
To make sure you have the best customer service possible. And then there are those situations that are like out of our control. Mm-hmm. And there are obviously, you're going to come across people that are maybe not the most honest. They're going to try to take advantage. That happens. But we have a responsibility, right? Even in the salon too, like to give, like exactly what you just said, right? When somebody is like maybe not happy, it's like, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
They're perfect.
You're fine.
Like look at them this way and they're straight.
You can't do that. But I agree with you. It is more challenging.
Yeah.
Face to face. It is.
It is. And then there's, everybody has a perception of what they think perfect set of nails are. And
it's very subjective. It's very subjective.
Very hard. So you have to have
how do you have that, like I've seen how you deal with customers, and I know how you talk with just even employees and all the way down to customers. Your tone it's so important. The tone that you carry, it's very like it doesn't like put me on the defensive, right? As a customer. It's and I think that goes kind of deeper of like you really want to know what's going on, and you genuinely want to find out what's happening here.
You know what? I seriously, I do want to know because I love to investigate everything. So I should really like give me the meat. What happened? So yeah, and I try to put myself in their shoes and how they're feeling and whether they're having a bad day. I try to, and that the brilliant thing about nowadays, most of this happens via text.
Yeah.
So give yourself a moment. Because you wouldn't believe how many times I respond to an email around here, and then I'm like, delete. Because tone comes across in emails too.
Completely it does.
So give yourself a second. And this is where, Habib, the preparation is so important. I've talked to you about this before. Like having certain scenarios and writing out what you would do in that situation and having it in your notes folder. So when something like that happens, you just copy paste it. You're not in the moment.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Because if you're in the moment and you're emotional, and the problem with text and email, it leaves too much interpretation to the person on the other end.
Well, for instance, I could say, "Hey, Habib," and I get okay back. Now, if I'm drinking mimosas, I'm going to take that as a happy okay.
Yeah.
If I've had a bad day, I'm going to be like, what does okay mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, am I saying it like that?
Yeah. There is a Key and Peele episode that is perfect for this. And it is him like, hey, bro, do you want to hang out? And he's like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
And he says something back. He's like, oh, that's so nice of him. He wasn't being nice, but it was like this back and forth. And by the end of it, they meet at the bar, and the one has a bat that's going to beat him in the head, and the other guy's just totally oblivious and happy. But it's because it comes across how you read it.
Yeah, it's very true. I like a pre-written type of response, just because you're right. So much communication today, it is through text.
Yeah.
And you have to overemphasize the nice.
So true.
Yeah.
I've recently wrote an email, and it was kind of to the point at first, and I wasn't in a bad mood, but I looked at it and I thought, okay, let's move on. I didn't delete. What I said was correct, but in the beginning, I'm like, hi, how are you? I hope everything's okay.
So good.
So nice to hear from you, and then go into it.
Yeah. I think that is, I don't know I don't even know what to call that, but it's a way to soften the email, right? So that they're fully aware that you are, like, there's a smile on your face,
And they say that.
Yeah.
Write it, a text message or an email, when you're upset, with a smile on your face.
Yeah. I use smiley face emojis a lot in my emails and text to, like,
I don't think I've ever seen.
Not to you. Not to you.
I'm like, what the heck?
No, not to you, Tracy, because I don't really care what you think.
You get the frowny face, thumbs down.
You get no face. You might get a middle finger emoji every once in a while.
All the time. That's the only answer. I don't get okay. It's just that.
Get middle finger emojis. Like when I write an email, or if I'm kind of short in the email, I put it so that they know there's a softening.
Yeah.
It's not me being like, great or okay, or like you were saying, sometimes I just want to be short because I'm just hammering through emails, or I'm on a call, whatever. And so I put that there to soften. They go, oh, okay. And it works.
Yeah.
It really works.
Yeah. So the kind of going back to customer service, this is a good way of approaching when a customer has a negative experience, because typically it's not going to be in your seat. Sometimes it will be. Sometimes they're not happy. But usually it's going to be about 10 minutes after they leave via text.
So what if, like, okay, I'm a customer. I love doing this. I'm a customer. Tracy just does my nails, and I'm looking, and you're like, like, how do you finish up a service? What do you say? Like, you're like, okay.
I go, oh, Habib, we're done. Take a look at them. I want you to take a really good look at them. And if you see anything, because it looks different from your point of view than it looks from mine. So just I'll quickly fix it for you.
Okay. Trace, the pointer finger looks kind of weird to me. I don't know. Can you just look at it real quick?
Yep. Let me check it out. I flip it. I go do that. You got to acknowledge the find.
Interesting.
Even if you don't find.
Interesting. Acknowledge
the find. Because this was the number one thing that I heard. There's a bump. And typically, if you flip it from their point of view, you'll see it. Because when you're looking at the finger this way.
You're right. It's different.
And you turn this way, you're like, oh, I see it. Now, sometimes I didn't see the bump. But I would go, oh, did I get it? Yep, got it. Cool. And it's just probably a little the way the light reflected, whatever it was. But I honestly, I'm like, I'm going to hit it a couple times. Maybe it'll take care of it. But it usually made them feel better. You're acknowledging that something. Yeah. And then, check it out again.
Have you ever had somebody just go, Tracey, I don't like the color?
The color, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what would you do?
I would literally tell them, listen, Habib, I put it on the first finger. You said you were good with it, and I don't have time.
Oh, do you do that?
Oh,
you put it on the first finger and say, what do you think?
Yep.
That's so smart.
Yep.
That is so smart.
Apply it. Hey, you like it? Yep. Cool. Yeah.
But what would you do? Like if I said, Tracey, I love my nails, but I don't like the color.
I'd be like, Habib, you picked it, but I don't have time right now. But if we can make something in a day or two. You want to do a color change? It's $10 for a color change. I can do it real quick. Just let me know. But wear it for a couple of days because I think it looks really good on you.
Okay.
And usually, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't play that. Because especially the younger girls will pick colors, and then their friends will tell them they don't like it, and then they want to change it out, and I don't play that.
Yeah. God, that's crazy. Yeah. I didn't think about that. Especially, I could see that with younger teens.
Yeah.
They really are concerned.
They're brutal to each other.
Yeah, they're brutal, man.
Why'd you pick that? And all of a sudden they're like, oh, I don't like it. Well, you loved it before, So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're brutal.
They are brutal, man. I hear my daughter talk. I mean, she's 11 with her friends and stuff. And I'm like, Mila, you got to chill, girl. Like, Jesus.
So that's how you talk to Auntie Tracey.
That's how you and mommy talk too. I heard you guys cussing. Oh my God. Like, no, but it's really true. I could see that.
Yeah.
Like you can get into, I mean, Jesus, it could drive you crazy with like, and so here's that question, right? It comes to that point of, well, is that not customer service? You're not taking, there's policies. Right?
There's time restraints.
And
you're acknowledging it.
Yeah.
You know what? I love it on you, but I get if you don't like it, sometimes it looks a little different after one or two nails. If you want to come back in and get it done, but it's like going in and picking a color swatch for your hair, having them do your whole head, and then deciding you don't like it. They're going to charge you to get it, redo it, unless you totally screwed up. Oh, Habib picked this color, he loved it, and I accidentally grabbed this color and did all 10 fingers. That's my fault.
I've seen where have I seen this? Either it's like, I don't know if it's been friends of friends in like college or whoever, but I would see a friend and she'd be like, hating her hair color or like a cut and it's like, you can't undo it. It's done. That's right.
I always wanted to do hair. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do nails and I didn't have the time. And I thought I'll go back to school. And then I learned really quick. You do a bad set of nails, you can take them off. Right. You do a bad hair, you can't take it off. So
you can't.
I'll stick with nails.
So I think there's that line of like, treating your customers well. Good customer service being when they're in the chair, your focus is on them. You take care of them. But also good customer service is like you have to respect the other customers, meaning if someone has an issue and you have time constraints, you can't just like fix their problem right now because now you're giving bad customer service to everybody else. You're pushing your time back. There's so many moving parts, right?
Right. And especially if you did what the customer asked.
Right. What they wanted. Mm-hmm. And then you verified it. For instance, I just
read one where someone did the length that the customer asked. She decided that she didn't like it, complained, because she decided she couldn't live with them that long. And the girl redid them for free. Personally, I would not have done that. Now, some people might and you know what? If you need the client or it's your friend or like...
If you're building a clientele, maybe you're
other things
there's
around.
Other things, right.
But as a regular, no. Did you give her the length she asked for? Did you verify the length? Yes. The fact that she can't live with that length because she's not dealing well with them really doesn't fall on you as giving bad customer service. You gave good customer service. You gave the customer what they asked for.
Yeah, what they asked for.
So that's a separate appointment. You want to come in, we can shorten them. Would I charge them for a full set? No, because I can shorten real quick. But sure. I am going to have to charge them for that time.
Right. Right, of course. Yeah, I think there's all those, like, that's why it's so challenging. There's so many factors, right? Like, so like, are you struggling? Is there like, and that's why building a full clientele, eventually it puts you in a place of leverage, not to abuse customer service so that you can be like, well, I don't do shit now for my customers. I can just,
I don't care if you like them or not.
Yeah, get out of my store. No, you still treat them well. You respect them. You respect their time. You take care of them. But then you have policies also in place.
And where customer service really comes in for me is being on time for the customer. It's huge.
Totally
so
huge.
I saw someone say this the other day, like, all you Netacs expect us to be on time, but then you're not on time for us. I agree with you 100%.
Totally.
That's good customer service. Making sure that your customer feels loved and appreciated, and they are the most important when they're in your chair. That's good customer service. Making sure your customer gets what they asked for. That's good customer service.
Totally.
But past that, it's not always the customer is always right. And building a full clientele, what that does, Habib, it gives you more of a good judgment on it.
Yeah, totally.
Are the nails really bad?
Right.
Well, you know what? I have a full clientele and everybody loves my nails. So it's not that the nails were bad.
You're right. So it helps you, and I know you would say every once in a while, you would be like, okay, come here. And you just like take care of something real quick and, and do these little things here and there. But for the most part, you have your policies but all those things you mentioned is good customer service. It's not good customer service to just literally do whatever the customer says and you get used and you get taken. Mm-hmm. You can't do that to your business. Now you're not taking care of yourself. So you really have to understand where that fine line is,
balance.
That balance, and understand those boundaries. Super, super important for your nail business. Let us know in the comments below your customer service policies. What do you do for your customers? How do you deal with problems and issues? We'd love to hear about it. And also any ideas for further episodes, let us know in the comments below. Tracey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Biz Talk.